What's up, YouTube? This is Rebecca the Diva coming at y'all with another video. But before I get into this video, if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Rebecca. All I want you to do is hit that subscribe button, and when you do, hit that notification bell and select all. Therefore, every time I upload a video, you'll get notified. Hit that share button, because sharing is caring. There's no secrets on this channel. Come on, hit that like button. I know you can do it. And also leave a comment down in the comment section for your girl, good or bad. And please be advised, if you're going to be a negative Nancy, I'm going to be a negative Nancy back. And for all of you that are returning, welcome back, Diva Gang. It is Monday, April 27th. I just want to touch bases with you guys. Nothing has changed. Still in quarantine. Bored out of my mind. Kids are doing their homeschooling, distance learning, however you want to call it. I'm just taking care of some things. Just want to update you on what's going on in my life. If you've been keeping up with my channel, you know that last week I had posted a video about me owing some back child support due to an error. I got that error straightened, thank God. So eventually they'll be refunding my tax refund check as well as my stimulus check. They closed out that child support case, wiped the slate clean, so thank God for that. And it took a lot of praying. It took a lot of on the phone constantly. I think the lady from the child support office, the supervisor, I mean, we were backwards and forwards on the phone, I think it was last Wednesday, constantly, all day, until we got the matter cleared up. Shout out to my boyfriend. He wanted to spend money. Okay, y'all know how I feel about that. Getting a lawyer, and I was like, you know what, no, that can go towards something else, like my engagement ring. You know, and like I said, it took me a couple of days, but I did get the situation cleared up. I thank God for that, and I'm now just going to see how long it takes for them to give me my coins, okay? Because you know they'll take your money in 25.9 milliseconds, but take days, weeks, and months to give you back your check. So we'll see. I'll update you once I get that check. I still have a giveaway going on, so for those of you who have not entered into my giveaway, please do so. I'll be giving away a $20 Walmart gift card, as well as a pair of lashes from my new lash line. Only thing you have to do is go over to my email, which is beccadivexo2014@gmail.com, and that will also be listed in the description box, and just say, hey, I'm entering into the giveaway. Give me your YouTube name, and there you go, I'll enter you. Today is the last day for that, so I'll be closing that out midnight. Okay. Other than that, everything's everything. There's nothing to do, nowhere to go. As you can see, I got my everyday little face beat going on. So you want to give me a likey like for the beat or the slay, you go right on ahead. And this is just something that I do because I need to go to the doctor today because my doctor has walk-in hours, but I don't feel like leaving the house. I went to Walmart over the weekend, so I don't need to go there, and there's nowhere else to go. So I was like, well, let me just do my face. I gotta touch up my hair too, just in case I decide to get up and go to the doctor. But other than that, I want to talk to y'all about roaches. And I know y'all know where I'm going with this, okay? Yeah, we're going to just jump right on into the reaction part of the video. MYJAZZYLIFE, which, you know, I be working with my girl. I like her. I like her content. I love her children. It's just, everything is not meant to put on the internet. And if you moved from your last spot because it was infested with roaches, then I just would have kept that to myself, really. Because I guess when she was in the process of moving, a lot of people were saying, oh, you're trying to move to get a house so your baby daddy can come live with you because he's currently incarcerated. But she said in this video that she had just posted that he's not coming out right now, which he probably went up for the parole board. His parole probably got denied, so he probably has to wait another year to see if he can parole out, basically is what she means. So she said that when she moved into the apartment, everything was fine, whatever, whatever. And then the apartment, I guess, below her was vacant, and then someone moved into it. And as soon as they got in and got themselves settled in, the roaches started coming out. Which can't happen. I'm not going to say, oh, she a liar, she lying, because that can't happen, okay? Because I've lived in several places throughout my life where, like, the neighbors or the people downstairs or the people next door kept their house untidy, unkept, and they had roaches, and then the roaches traveled, you know, into my apartment. Needless to say, I'm just that bitch where I see one roach, no, we're deep cleaning the whole entire house, top to bottom, you know. And the way I do that is basically old school, because I grew up in New York City. So the first building that I lived in from an age, I want to say 5 to about the age of, I want to say 16 or 17, that building was an old building. And we had mice, we had roaches. I was deathly scared, afraid of them. So I promised myself, when I grew up and get my own place, I will not be living in places with mice or roaches. But unfortunately, life does not go that way. So yes, I've lived, especially when I moved out to California, it was like every apartment I lived in was infested with roaches. But I knew from being young and watching my mom how to get rid of roaches. So what I do is basically go to the 99-cent store, the dollar store, whoever, and get this stuff called boric acid. It's like a white powder. They say it's toxic to children or whatever. But so if you got kids, just be careful putting it down. And bleach. Good old-fashioned bleach. So I will bleach my bathrooms. I will bleach everything in my kitchen, countertops, stove tops, the knobs on the stove, the refrigerator handle, the light switch. Every night after dinner, when dishes was washed, the floor was swept and mopped with bleach. Then you bleach your whole entire, I mean everything, doorknobs, everything you touch with some bleaching water. And trust me, you can go in your kitchen 3 or 4 o'clock, because we all know how roaches do. Middle of the night, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, you go flick on the light and they scurrying around. You can do that after you bleach your kitchen or whatever down real good, and you go in there and you flick on that light, you ain't gonna see no roach in sight. And that just brings me to say this. I'm not trying to drag anybody. I'm not coming for nobody. I'm not throwing shade at this poor girl, because she's just, I feel, ignorant to the fact. And ignorance, whoever don't know what ignorance means, just means you don't know. You know, I feel that she does not know how to keep house the correct way. Because if she did, she wouldn't be so slap happy to pick up her camera and start vlogging your whole apartment, knowing that your floors are not swept, knowing that trash is all over the tables and the countertops. And she's, I think, a little bit better in this apartment, maybe because she maybe appreciates it a little bit more because it's more nicer. But in that last apartment that she was in, you would go into her kitchen, dishes all in the sink, dishes all in the dishwasher, stuff cluttered all on the counters, and she would literally blame this stuff on her children. And shit that was on your countertop, I feel the little toddlers cannot reach up there and just throw stuff onto the countertop. It was just obvious stuff, like takeout bags and McDonald's cups and this, that, and the third. And it would be like that for a day. Like any given day, she'd blog on a Monday, and then she'd come back and blog again on a Thursday. Shit would still be the same. So it's her. She's not a clean person. She's just whatever, you know. And I guess with some people, it takes a lot of motivation to get up and clean. My type of clean or your type of clean might not be her type of clean. She blames a lot because of having kids, but I feel that that's no excuse, because I once had 6 kids in my house at one given time. And I'm not going to say I had the cleanest house in America, but you can about eat off my floors. And I'm just being honest about that. You know, it's how I kept my house clean. So if that meant I had to go behind all of these kids and clean up, then that's what I did. You know, I did it, and I didn't complain about it. You know, my house is not the cleanest house as of right now. I have older children, of course. I do expect them to keep their own personal rooms clean, because I have a boy and a girl, and they each have their own room. So I need their room to be clean, and they know it. And they know when it's getting kind of atrocious, I need to do something about it, because Mom gonna flip her lid. I try to keep my living room clean, as well as my kitchen and bathrooms. That's a must. My kitchen is a must. Sometimes it gets a little bit cluttered because sometimes I get in my space where I'm doing 50 different things at once. I'm not feeling good. Got to do things for the kids, but at some point there's no excuse. It's like it should come natural. Let me get up and let me clean, because if you don't and you always keep a nasty filthy house, you will get roaches, you will get ants, you will get all of these things. But sometimes you have to learn how to be self-sufficient even when you're renting. Okay, because I've been renting for a long time. I've owned my own home, and I had to learn when I owned my own home that there was no landlord to call. I was the landlord. Me and my kid's father were the landlord. So when we had an ant, we had a bad ant problem. We bought our home back in 2007 or 2008. We bought our home, and it was like ants. Like, oh, like we was in this house, I want to say 3 maybe a month, and we lived out in the desert, so scorpions and spiders and ants. I mean, ants everywhere. You put something there, next thing it was covered in ants. And we had to go to Home Depot, and we had to get that home defense spray and spray the outside of our house, spray the inside of our house. And I want to say 2 to 3 weeks of doing that constantly, the ants were gone. So sometimes you gotta take little revenues to handle stuff yourself. Because me being a renter also, I noticed that they'll send, you call your rent office, oh yeah, I have a bug problem, whatever, and they'll send their little maintenance men with some bug, I call it juice, because they'll spray only in the kitchen and the bathroom, and you have to literally force them to spray anywhere else. Like my last apartment that I moved in, like when I relocated here to Florida, I just needed a spot, so I grabbed a spot. Wasn't the best spot in the world, but it was mine. Me and my kids were not homeless. This place, I stayed in there, I want to say 1, 2, maybe 3 months after being in there. There was mice. Okay, so I saw one, and I called the rent office, and they sent the maintenance man. Here he come with some glue sticky trappy things. So my mental mind, like, I could have did that. So the mice were still coming, needless to say, after the glue sticky trappy things. So I called them back again. Here he come with some steel wool. For those of you who don't know what steel wool is, it's just like Brillo pad. You know, the Brillo that you scrape, you clean your pots and pans with. Yeah, that's what he came with, Brillo. And I remember that from when my mom, like I said, I grew up with mice, so my mother would get, my stepdad would go and get a butter knife and the steel wool and push them, because the mice, if they chew on that steel from that Brillo pad, it'll cut their insides up. So I pulled that. At that time, I didn't have no man, okay? So my son, he was like maybe 13 at the time, 12, 13. I had me and him pulled out the stove, because that's where the hole was, and we stuffed. And for a while, they were gone. Then one day I was cleaning, you know, because like I said, that's what I do. Before I go to bed, after dinner, dishes is washed, I clean my whole entire kitchen. And that's one thing. You can have the cleanest house in America, but mice will find their way to your house. And I had a thing of tortillas, the soft taco shells. They were on the counter, because I left my bread and can't believe that in there sometimes on the countertop out, because I didn't have a bread box. So the next morning I get up, because after the kids went to school, I would come and I would clean again. Not just making sure, because when you stay in a small apartment and used to a big ass house, you just want to keep everything clean. So I picked up the bag of tortillas, and there was a hole chewed right through it. I was like, oh my God. So these mice are now on my countertop eating my food. So I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to call the maintenance people no more. I'm going to handle this my way. And the way that I handled that was I went to the Humane Society, and I got me a cat, because mice do not like cats. And needless to say, about a week after Kitty being, his name is Buddy. A week after Buddy being in that apartment, there were no more mice. No. So sometimes you just have to be self-sufficient, especially when you don't have a man at home with you, and learn how to do things yourself. But she should have kept that story to herself, because she's not the cleanest person in America. And she can get mad at it, but she can go look at any one of her videos and look how her house be looking and say, Yeah, if I was a roach, I would come in this motherfucker too. But that's all I gotta say. Like I said, no shade to nobody. Everything is a learning experience. Hopefully she'll learn, from her experience in her last apartment, and hopefully she didn't bring none to her new apartment because they will travel. But until next time, guys, bye.